A Good Girl's Guide Mother by Holly Jackson. Pip knew where they lived. Everyone in Little Kilton knew where they lived. Their home was like the town's own haunted house. People's footsteps quickened as they walked by, and their words strangled and died in their throats. Shrieking children would gather on their walk home from school, daring one another to run up and touch the front gate. But it wasn't haunted by the ghosts. Just three sad people trying to live their lives as before. A house not haunted by flickering lights or spectral falling trees, but by dark spray-painted letters of swamp, family, and stone-shattered windows. Pip had always wondered why they didn't move. Not that they had to, they hadn't done anything wrong, but she didn't know how they lived like that. Pip knew occurred many things. She knew that hippopotamonstrous cryptalophobia was the technical term for the fear of long words. She knew that babies were born without kneecaps. She knew verbatim the best quotes from Plato and Cato, and that there were more than 4,000 types of potato. But she didn't know how the things found the strength to stay here in Kilton, under the weight of so many widened eyes, of the comments whispered, just loud enough to be heard, of never small talk, never stretching and long talk anymore. It was a particular cruelty that the house was so close to Little Kilton Grammar School, where both Andy Bell and Sal Singh had gone, where Pip would return from her final year in a few weeks when the August peep cold sun tipped into September. Pip stopped and rested her hand on the front gate, stately, braver than half the town's kids. Her eyes traced up the path of the front door. It might only look like a few feet, but there was a rumbling chasm between where she stood and over there. It was possible that this was a very bad idea. She had considered that. The morning sun was hot, and she could already feel her knee pits growing sticky in her jeans. A bad idea, a bold idea. And yet, history's greatest minds always advised bold over safe. Their words good padding for even the worst ideas. Snapping the chasm with the soles of her shoes, she walked up to the door and, pausing for a second to check she was sure, knocked 3 times. Her tense reflection stared back at her. The long, dark hair, sun-dyed a lighter brown at the tips. The pale face, despite a weak dress suspended the south of France. The sharp, muddy green eyes braced for impact. The door opened with the clatter of a falling chain, and the devil looked click. "Hello?" he said, holding the door half open. His hand folded over the side. Pip blinked to break her stare, but she couldn't help it. He looked so much like Sal, the Sal she knew from all those television reports and newspaper pictures. The Sal fading from her adolescent memory. Ravi had his brother's messy black side-swept hair, thick arched eyebrows, and auburn-hued skin. "Hello," he said again. Pip's put on the spot, charmer reflex kicked into lead. Her brain was busy processing that, unlike Sal, he had a dimple in his chin, just like hers, and he had grown even taller since she last saw him. Sorry, hi." She did an awkward half-wave that she immediately regretted. "Hi?" "Hi, Ravi," she said. You don't know me. I'm Pipa. Face the movie. I was a couple of years below you at school before you left." "Okay." "I was just wondering if I could borrow a jiffy of your time." "Well, not a jiffy. Did you know a jiffy is an actual measurement of time? It's 1/100th of a second, so can you maybe spare a few sequential jiffies?" Oh God. This is what happened when she was nervously backed in her corner. She started spewing useless facts dressed up as bad jokes. And the other thing, nervous Pip turned 4 strokes more plush, abandoning middle class to grapple for a poor imitation of upper, when she had ever seriously said "jiffy" before. "What?" Ravi asked. looking confused. Sorry, never mind, Pip said, recovering. So, I'm doing my EPQ at school and what's EPQ? Extended Project Qualification. It's a project you work on independently, alongside A levels. You can pick any topic you want. Oh, I never got that far in school, he said. Left as soon as I could. Well, I was wondering if you'd be willing to be interviewed for my project. What's it about? His dark eyebrows hugged closer to his eyes. It's about what happened 5 years ago. Ravi exhaled loudly, his lip curling up in what looked like pre-sprung anger. Why? He said. Because I don't think your brother did it, and I'm going to try to prove it. Here we have the production log entry 1 by Pippa is a movie. So the main important is the next bit. Andrea Bill, 17, was reported missing from her home in Little Kilton, Buckinghamshire, last Friday. She left home in her car. Rest you can read yourself. They're not so much important. So let's go to the next bit. Transcript of interview with Angela Johnson from the Missing Persons Bureau. Hello? Hi, is this Angela Johnson? Speaking. Yep, is this Pippa? Yes, thanks so much for replying to my email. No problem. Do you mind if I record this interview so I can type it up later to use in my project? Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. I've only got about 10 minutes to give you. So, what do you want to know about missing persons? Well, I was wondering if you could talk me through what happens when someone is reported missing. What's the process and the first steps taken by police? So, when someone rings 999 or 101 to report someone is missing, the police will try to get as much detail as possible so they can identify the potential risk to the missing person and an appropriate police response can be made. The kinds of details that we'll ask for in this first call are name, age, description of the person, what clothes they were last seen wearing, the circumstances of their disappearance, if caught missing is out of character for this person, details of any vehicle involved. Using this information, the police would determine whether this is a high, low, or a medium risk case. And what circumstances would make a case high risk? If they are vulnerable because of the age or a disability, that would be high risk. If the behavior is out of character, then it is likely an indicator that they have been exposed to harm, so they would be high risk. So if the missing person is 17 years old and it is deemed out of character for her to go missing, would this be considered a high risk case? Oh, absolutely, if a minor is involved. So, how would the police respond to a high-risk case? Well, there would be immediate deployment of police officers to the location of the person is missing from. The officer will have to acquire further details about the missing person, such as details of their friends or partners, any health conditions, their financial information in case they can't be found when trying to withdraw money. They will also need a number of recent photographs of the person, and in a high-risk case, they may take the DNA samples in case they are needed in subsequent forensic examination. And with consent of the homeowners, the location will be searched thoroughly to see if the missing person is concealed or hiding there and to establish whether there are any further evidential leads. That's the normal procedure. So, immediately the police are looking for any clues or suggestions that the missing person has been the victim of a crime? Absolutely. If the circumstances of the disappearance are suspicious, officers are always told, if in doubt, think murder. Of course, only a very small percentage of missing person cases turn into homicide cases, but officers are instructed to document evidence orally and as though they were investigating a homicide. And after the initial home address search, what happens if nothing significant turns up? They will expand the search of the immediate area. They might request telephone information. They'll question friends, neighbors, anyone who may have relevant information. If it is a young person, a teenager who's missing, a reporting parent cannot be assumed to know all of their child's friends and acquaintances. Their peers are a good port of call to establish other important contacts. Any secret boyfriends that shot a thing, and a press strategy is usually discussed because appeals for information in the media can be very useful in these situations. So, if it's a 17-year-old girl who's gone missing, the police would have contacted her friends and boyfriend quite earlier? Yes, of course. Inquiries will be made because if the missing person has run away, they are likely to be hiding out with the person close to them. And at what point in a missing person's case do police accept they are looking for a body? Well, time-wise, it's not, "Oh, people, I have to go. Sorry, I have been called in a meeting." "Oh, okay, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. And if you have any more questions, just pop me an email and I'll get to them when I can." "Will do. Thanks again. Bye." I found these statistics online. 80% of missing people are found in the first 24 hours. 97 are found in the first week. 99 of cases are resolved in the first year. That leaves just 1%. 1% of people who disappear are never found. But there is another figure to consider. Just 0.25 of all missing person cases have a fatal outcome. And where does this leave Andy Bell? Floating incessantly somewhere between 1 and 0.25, fractionally increasing and decreasing in tiny decimal bits. But by now, most people accept that she's dead, even though her body has never been recovered. And why is that? Cell Sing is why.